on all of these baits, you don't want to overpower them. Everything is done with 4-pound test line. What we're doing, all done with 4. Fish on. See what we got going here. Feels like a good, that better gill. It's not a giant yet, but we're getting there. You know, just starting the morning off. This is a pretty nice one. Pretty darn nice one, huh? You're a gill fisherman, you gotta agree, right? Not a bad gill to start, huh? Look at that. Gills, one of the most sought after fish. Crappies first, then I guess bluegills on a national level fall into that category. I don't know anybody that doesn't like to catch gills and or crappies. And when the panfish are going, they're biting good. Got him. Ooh. Now, I'm not a big pot of them. I'll show them to you on the Mega Live. This one feels like a good one. Look at him. Twist and shout like a bluegill does. Just another gill. You know, the lake I'm on is a special reg lake for gills. And look at that. It's a beautiful fish. A special regulation lake, and you can only take 10 fish out of this lake. And they're trying to manage it to get better quality fish. And I think that's a great thing. We're seeing more and more and more game and fish departments all over the country start managing panfish from, I remember no limits, you know, you load the bucket, they're starting to say, wait a minute, you know, we can't sustain that kind of harvest and maintain our bigger fish. So many states, south along with up north, are managing the panfish population, simply realizing that this is a big resource. A lot of people like their crappie, their bluegill, their perch. Panfishing is big business. The lake that we're on's got really good populations of crappie and bluegill. And in our part of the world, bluegill in particularly like rocks, especially big bluegill. They're drawn to rocks. I don't know why. Maybe they like to eat little crayfish. I don't know. But they are drawn to rocks like this one. I mean, it's just crazy about rocks. This is another a really big one again. And now on the same lake, you got to go to the weeds. You got to go to the weeds to catch the crappie. Yeah, you know, so everywhere, again, it's just interesting. In these lakes up north for the bigger gills, yeah, you know, you need to have good rock in the lake to, it's like the magnet. The rocks are a magnet for the big gills. Shallow and deep. As the season goes on, they'll go to deeper rocks and you can go drop shot them with some Finesse panfish baits or leeches. If you really don't need the bait. I'm telling you, you don't need the bait the majority of the time. You can take an artificial and catch bluegills like this all the time, all season with some tweaking naturally. That ain't a bluegill. It is a bluegill. Big one, real big one. Boy, did that sucker pull. Holy mackerel. That's a pretty nice one. You know, he doesn't have a snub nose yet, but he is certainly on his way to it. And that is, let's just see what I got going here. I'll reverse this thing, but you can see it. Just short of 9.5. A little light of 9.5. That's a nice gill. That's the top end, and I know in this lake, I'm hoping to get a 10-incher today. 9.5 are those are now, you know when you set the hook on them. This is that little Countdown Elite, and it came on the scene just recently. It has been an incredible fun bait for us to fish. You know, bluegills, crop, everything likes it. You throw it out, when you stop it, the bait shimmies like this. I mean, it has a unique action that only comes in a countdown. It's incredible. When it does this bait, when it does its shimmy and goes right through that school of fish, they can't resist it. They got to bite it. Yeah, you know, it's like a wounded minnow in a school. They go to look, they got to pick it off the lot. Hey, let's catch up quick with Gord Ellis, writer, radio host, and professional fisherman in Canada, and find out what else besides panfish like the Countdown Elite.
That's right, Al. Panfish absolutely love the Countdown Elite, and so do trout. All kinds of trout. Steelhead, brown trout, lake trout, but my favorite is the brook trout. And here on the Nipigon River, where I am right now, the Countdown Elite is really one of the very best lures you can use when you are spinning for them. The Countdown Elite has a faster fall than the regular Countdown, about 1.5 feet per second. It's also slightly more slender, and it has a through wire construction, so I call it the RoboCop of balsa lures. It casts like a stone as well. And also when you're fishing in big current, this thing really gets down. But best of all, it looks like a real live minnow, or in the case of the fishery here on the Nipigon, smelt. So this gilded AU is about as close to a smelt as you're going to get. It is a fantastic lure for catching big brookies.
You know, you fish down south in a lot of lakes, and the red ear sunfish, they get pretty big. And the biggest right now that I've ever seen in my life were on Lake Havasu in Arizona. In fact, I was in the bait shop, or just coming in, when they were weighing one, and it was the new record for red ear. It was like 5 pounds, something like that. And they broke it 1 or 2 more times after that. Genetically, that system out there, the Colorado River system, and especially Lake Havasu, is known to really produce some monster. My personal biggest out of there was a 3-4, you know, and I fished there a number of times. I got a 3-4, loads and loads of 1.5 to 2 pounders up in the river. A bonus, a bonus. I like, no matter where I fish, when I get bonus smallmouth bass, I like it. The thing, throwing these small baits like this, you catch fish all day long. You're constantly having fun. And when you match it up, yeah, this is not a big smallmouth, yeah, you know, but it's pulling like crazy because of the equipment that I'm using. And you know, you're using this lighter, more finesse-y stuff. You definitely get way more bites, you know, in a day of fishing. We're not fishing here in the Bassmaster Classic. I'm here to have fun. Yeah, you know, this is not blood and guts. You know, we're wanting, what do we want to do? We want to get bit. We want to catch a bunch of fish. We want to keep some fish for dinner tonight. And when ooh, that one, you even with the hook right. Get out of here. Nice little bonus in between. That's one of the beauties of throwing this little stuff. This Elite in particular, this is one of the newer finesse type of crankbaits that we've been using the last few years. But there's been a lot of them over the years that we've used, from phenomenal topwater fishing, a variety of different lake environments, different baits that we use in the hard bait and the soft bait area to consistently put more fish into both. There's a time for both of them, hard baits and soft baits. The right equipment in the hands of a young person, generally around about 10 years old, they can handle this with no problem whatsoever. Yeah, you know, and they don't, you know, if you're not getting a bite on the float, you know, even if you are, yeah, you know, after a half hour dinking around, changing bait, doing this and this, they get a little bit bored. Doing this, they're casting. And let's face it, the attention span of the younger generation is a little bit different than it used to be, you know, with all of the distractions that they have. So the main distraction you want to get them is something pulling on the end of their line, so they keep coming back for more. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm gonna lift that one. Ooh, this is one of the bigger ones. One of the bigger ones of the day. Let me get a hand. I can barely get my hand around this one, man. This one might be nudging 10. I'm not sure. Come on, get those hooks out of you. Yeah, this baby, this is, whoops, I got myself hooked here. Those hooks are so, look at that baby, huh? That's what I came out here today for. Get a whole bunch of these, you throw these back, you grab a whole bunch of 8-inchers, and you keep them for dinner. Rah, rah, bluegills. Such a beautiful fish. Okay, baby, go.